I'll take you there. Help me, y'all. I'll take you there. Help me now. I'll take you there. Oh, I'll take you there. Oh, mercy. I'll take you there. Oh, let me take you now. I'll take you there. Oh, let me take you there. I'll take you there. Mary, play your piano now. All right. Come on now. Play on it. Play on it. Daddy now. Daddy. 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 All right, now, baby, little baby, need you here, help me out. Come on, little baby. All right. Boom, 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 boom. Doing something so I'll take you there. Ain't nobody crying. I'll take you there. Ain't nobody worried. I'll take you there. No smiling faces. I'll take you there. Slide in the rain. I'll take you there. Oh, I'll take you there. Oh, I'll take you there. Mercy now. I'll take you there. I'm calling for mercy. I'll take you there. Mercy, mercy. I'll take you there. I'll take you there. Oh, I'll take you there. Oh, I wanna take you there. Just take me by my hand. I'll take you there. Let me see the way. Oh, I'll take you there. Let me take you there. I'll take you there. Let me take you there. I'll take you there. Ain't no smiling faces. I'll take you there. Up in here, lying good. I'll take you there. You got to let me. I'll take you there. Take you on the line. I'll take you there. Oh, all right. I'll take you there. Oh, all right. I'll take you there. Oh, I'll take you there. Oh, yeah, I'll take you there. Oh, yeah, I'll take you there.
Good morning, Baltimore. Good morning, D.C., Delaware. Good morning, America. It is indeed a blessing to be able to come to you this morning. I know a place, and I'll take you there. Of course, you know me. The place that I know is self-employment and home ownership, working for yourself, and we encouraging those who may not have the opportunity to get a college degree or a PhD, that there are many. Everybody, I believe, it is my opinion that everybody been given a special gift by God. So if you are able to recognize that spiritual gift, whether you're able to achieve academic success, you can still be successful in life. So we want to invite you to this particular program that emphasizing the necessity for us to be able to come together and work together. First of all, we're emphasizing the necessity for our churches to focus on their businesses that exist within their churches and give endorsement to those businesses where we be able to, there may be individuals in the congregation who would like to also do business, and you have persons in there in your congregation who are experts in business, can mentor those individuals. This is a special mentorship program We are urging churches to mentor individuals in their congregation and people, and then bring into your congregation businesses in your community and give support to those businesses that exist in your community. And this is what we're going to have to do, because we don't know what the outcome going to be in the future. But one thing that we do know, if we pull together, stand together, it symbolizes the power and the presence of God with us, then we know that we cannot fail. We cannot be conquered, because God is able to sustain and to keep us in all situations. And that's what we want to bring to you today, that the power and the presence and the Spirit of God. Now, you know the place that I want to take you, and we want to encourage those individuals who are interested in taking these classes that we're going to be offering the second week in December. Those individuals, I have received calls from individuals who want to take classes. We want you to know that you can call the church, 410-367-1117, and tell Roxanne that you want to be involved in the class and the type of class that you want to have. You may desire classes that we are not focusing on right now, but whatever section or whatever subject or whatever business, anything that you want, let her know, and we probably be able to create classes for those experiences as well. I am Dr. Matthew Jones. I'm the pastor of Concord and also JL Care Enterprise, home again to assisted living facility. So we want to encourage you that that assisted living actually is an example of an organization that you could have done with a high school diploma, and therefore it's an organization that will provide endless amount of income to you. All you have to do is to follow the principles and the guidelines and the Office of Health Care Quality instructions, and you will be very successful in setting up your own. It's not that difficult to do. You can do it with a high school diploma, and it can be, and the income is unlimited. So therefore, we encouraging you to take advantage of these opportunities and these classes that we want to provide for you. The first thing I want to talk about today, though, this is a special day. This is the World Antibiotic Awareness Day. The World Antibiotic Awareness Day. We alert ourselves to those medical conditions and be aware of this. It's also International Students Day. So we recognize the students who are involved. We just finished talking to some students who are involved here in our Latchkey program. I mean, not our Latchkey, but our development of the square. They came out of the Latchkey program years ago. But we are encouraging those individuals, those students. We're trying to encourage those who may be going back to school now or going back in the fall and after the new year. Whenever you're going back, we want the churches also to endorse, to give support to those students. We provide scholarships from here as well for students who are going back to school. This is also National Adoption Day. We know that there are individuals who have not been blessed to have mothers and fathers that need to be adopted, so we want to emphasize those individuals who have made that sacrifice to adopt children and raising children, putting their investment in helping families and helping the children to survive under unusual circumstances. So we want to acknowledge this Adoption Day. And so these are the things I just kind of want to highlight with you today. Also, before I go any further, let me just kind of tell you that we do have the development of the square going on here today. It's every Saturday from 10 until about 12:45 every Saturday. And they provide 4 basic principles that they are teaching. Education, and when they focus on education, they're not just dealing with reading, writing, and arithmetic, but dealing with all kind of development of behavior, disposition, all kind of principles that they need to focus on as they develop their education. The second is economics. They focus on helping them understand the principles of economics. We call it biblical economics, because the important to understand the necessity to put first things first, and that's what tithing speaks to us. It's saying that when you tithe, you're putting first things first, and when you put first things first, you always will be successful with your economic process. So, you know, you don't buy an expensive car before you get a decent home. You know, it's putting first things first. Done a complete budget. In my counseling sessions and marriage counseling, one of the things that we cover is economics and how to develop budgets and all the aspects of economics, insurance policies and all kind of things, and economics that we share in that counseling session. However, the other side is recreation. And the recreation, we help them to understand that in recreation is decision making. If you can decide when to pass the ball or to shoot the ball or to dribble the ball, it's instant decisions. You can transport those decisions into life. You can make, so athletics helps you help understand the necessity how you are capable to make fast decisions. And anytime you can make fast decisions in sports and anything, you can transport those into life and make good, fast decisions in life. And the foundation of all these is the fourth area, which is spirituality. He's saying all these principles that we talked about here and teaching these children be based on spiritual principles. And I think that that's one of the things that we must emphasize in our community, going back to the spiritual principles that our forefathers taught us, the principles that we had when we were segregated communities. We had principles that we stood by. There was things that black people didn't do to black people. You know, there was a kind of support that we had. There was unity in businesses. There was extensive support to black businesses during that segregation period. There was extensive support to black communities, black banks, black everything. And so we are encouraging that we need to remember those principles and reestablish those principles in our community, because there's too much crime, too much killing, too much, and you know what, our position that we're saying that if we approach this, resolving this crime from an economic perspective as well as a social one, that we can reduce crime a lot faster dealing with the economic problems that face us in that community. So you are now listening to the I Know a Place, and I'll take you there.
Good
and
morning.
Our co-host is here.
Yeah, finally here. Good morning, Baltimore. Good morning to everyone that's listening. Thank you guys for tuning in once again another Saturday. You are listening to I Know a Place, and I want to take you there. I'm your favorite co-host, Jamie Chris. Good morning, Dr. Jones. Good morning to our guests.
Good morning. Good morning. We do have some outstanding guests with us this morning.
Obviously, I mean, they're here. So if they're here, then they're in the right place, and we need them to be here. So that's amazing. So I figured out you just broke down the purpose of the show. So if no one's ever listened, they know what we're here for, right?
I didn't go into all of the details.
Okay.
I saved that for you to redo. I talked about other general principles and what this special day is, what kind of special day this is.
Okay, it's a special day. Tell me what the special day is again. Recap
World
for me.
Antibiotics Awareness Day.
What kind of day?
Antibiotics Awareness Day.
Antibiotics Awareness Day.
Yes.
Those things that we need to clear up germs in our body, right?
Yes.
Okay, meds. Okay, that's what's going on.
Also, International Students Day.
Oh.
Emphasizing that our students going back to college and giving support to them and encouraging the families to know that this is a special time to let them know that the world is thinking about
Perfect.
them.
Real students, okay, not students of life, because I know I'm still a student of life. So we're talking about real students that are putting the pen to the paper. Okay.
And also the International Survival of Suicide Loss Day.
So this is for the families of individuals?
For the families, individual suicide loss day, how to give support, encouragement to those in those situations, or people that you may be aware of that are going through those type of crises.
Absolutely.
Let's give support to them. And also the National Adoption Day. So it's kind of like a focus on the family type.
Oh, okay, so that's for me because Concord has adopted me. So this is a day that I can celebrate,
Yeah,
right?
you can
National
celebrate.
Adoption Day. Okay, I love, love, love that.
So
Dr.
that's
Jones, I don't know
basically
how
what
you
we have
find
kind of
these
been
things.
talking about while you, as we focus on the spirituality and
The breakdown of the show,
Yeah,
right? So if no
yes.
one's ever listened to the show before, just quickly, the goal of this, it's a mentor strategy, and we use this show and this platform as an opportunity to talk about it, to introduce it, and to get other people involved. And so the goal of the first stage of this plan is to show that spirituality and economics are one and the same, because if you don't know, when spirituality is the foundation of our communities, it does what? Reaches every single aspect of our lives. And so it is just law that the Black church is and has always been the strongest economic entity in our community, right? So the purpose of our show is to bring back together the church and the minority businesses. And at the same time, we want to mentor young men and women who wish to start a business by having an existing business or interest or, desire that they have that needs to flourish, right? And so I like to stop there because we always say young men and women because why? They are our future, but we always like to say that there is no right or wrong age to start a business, right? Because
Right.
like I said, last couple weeks ago, Logan sent me a list. They were like the guy who Tesla and Tom Ford and all these people and Christian Dior, they were like 40 plus when they started their businesses, some 50 and some 60, and all of those businesses, including the owner of Walmart, all those businesses are still standing, right?
Yeah.
So it's no right or wrong age. And
And
so
Harlow Forward, that was out of this church, started Kentucky Fried
I knew
Chicken.
you were coming with the
Yeah,
KFC.
and he was 50 plus when he started Kentucky Fried Chicken. Had about 5 or 6 locations in this area. Yeah,
That's perfect.
He
I mean-
he contributed a lot of money to Virginia Union students.
Mm-hmm.
Every year he would have at Martin West mass number of
So
students.
he's doing the work and giving back to the community in the
extensively.
process.
And even the year he died, we had the major activity at Martin West, and I left Martin West and went by the hospital, the place where he was, and we talked, and it was shortly after that he passed away. But he has given great support, and he started this business at a late age.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
And we are blessed to have some people here today who are businessmen and spiritual men.
Well, they wouldn't be here if they weren't spiritual and businessmen, so that is a touche, but we want to let our listeners know that. And so just quickly to sum it up, these individuals, whether they're young people or adults or however you want to look at them, but they can be in your church, your community at large, they can be connected to you in so many different various ways, but this method will strengthen both the church and the community and everyone involved, right? Everyone will benefit. And the second stage of this plan/show is to show the necessities of the industrial arts and how they should be put back into the school system. This will give economic stability to our
Elementary
children.
schools,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, let's be clear, because I'm going to tell them you have done the research and that
elementary.
it should start in elementary school.
Yeah, so it's because you shape their thinking before they be influenced by other methods.
that part.
If you catch them in elementary schools and develop their natural God-given principles and help them to establish their method and understand the value of knowing how to do what God has given you to do.
Absolutely.
And therefore, when you get in high school, you won't be drawn off to the negative things that you think that you need to do to survive, because you already know the basic God-given principles that have been given to you, that you can survive a whole lot better than doing those negative things that you think that you have to do to survive. A lot of young people are doing things now because they think that they have to do it in order to survive.
Absolutely.
But that's not true. We need to teach
Definitely
them.
not true. And so we just want people to know that if we push this movement along and putting industrial arts back into the school system early on, when these kids get to high school, if they don't finish high school or they don't choose to go to college, they have sustainability. They have something to fall back on, and they can build businesses. And Dr. Jones always likes to fall back, and I'll say it for him this time because he's always like, "Oh, I run an assisted living business that can make you 6 figures plus a year, and you don't even need a high school diploma." So that's it. Like there are opportunities for people if they learn the industrial arts early on to be able to have an abundant life regardless of where they go on the education side. And so the third stage of this mentoring program is to have major businesses tie in employment with home ownership. And so we just like to stop there because that's a big deal. And we talk about that on various shows. And shout out to our Baltimore City Council, because they have a program right now, which is where you can lease a home. It's a 2-year program. You lease the home, you fix it up, you do all the things, and then you own it. And it's a perfect
$1 a
program
year.
for people. And it is income-based, but it is perfect for those individuals. And we all know that when people own things in their communities and they have a sense of belonging, they treat the communities better, and they do more. If you own something, you treat it differently than renting.
And the churches that are already doing this, already promoting their people in their business, in their congregation, we want them to come and get on the talk show and talk about it, talk about what they're doing, how they're supporting and their business and in their congregation. And so we can talk about their congregation and focus on where they are, and there may be people who are living near them would like to come and join that congregation.
Absolutely.
And we have 2 major men here today.
Okay, and we have these guys. I'm feeling this hoodie that's giving me a lot of life over here. I'm seeing W.D. Du Bois. I'm feeling a lot.
Charles Waters III.
Nice. Okay, Bishop.
Charles Waters III.
Okay.
Of Imperial
Exposure
Ministries. Yeah,
Nice.
Exposure Ministries International.
Okay, so let's
He
do
has
this
traveled
again.
worldwide.
Explosion
Ministries International.
Ministry
International.
Okay, so
He
I
has
like to
traveled
make it
worldwide and also extensively in ministries that he is involved right here in the city, and mentoring people and helping families, and making a sacrifice today because he got stuff going on today, but he's here with us.
So he's doing the work. That's what I love to hear. So welcome and good morning. Yeah.
And we have you're a minister too, right?
No, sir.
No.
Yeah, don't come down here, Dr.
Richard.
Jones. I'm like, you're a minister. You try to flow it
Well,
down.
he
but you
has.
come play
He
with
has
me
been.
too.
He's a minister in action.
Okay.
He does action, minister of action. Brother Richard, right?
Yes, sir.
And he is involved here with us. So we're gonna introduce.
Yeah, let's connect.
Yeah.
So good morning. Okay, good. So I'm going to allow you guys again to recap, say your name and like your church or your entity who you represent so that the listeners can hear. And I'm sure if you have some people that follow you, they may be listening because everybody loves 106.1 Praise FM. Shout out to Kathy Hughes, RadioOne family. Everybody loves us. We are popping in our city. So good morning, Bishop.
Good morning. My name again is Charles Waters III. The founder and pastor of Explosion Ministries International. Been pastoring for 22 years now.
Okay, 22 years. Don't
And,
look like it. Okay.
Thank
Once
you
started
so
when you were
much. We can
10.
end it right there.
Okay.
Amen.
Let's go.
The church is located at 2218-2220 Harford Road, and we're getting busy in the community.
Let's emphasize that address again because we want them to know exactly where you are, and so they can know how they can reach you.
2218-2220 Harford Road, and the phone number is 443-857, I don't even call it, 0080. Again,
Don't worry.
443-857-0080.
Don't worry about that. Dr. Jones forgets, we can just all Google. If we Google Explosion Ministry, Harford Road, have a little context words to pop up on Google.
We
But,
have a
he wants you to
Facebook
give it.
account. We actually have a service right now, so they're on Facebook right now.
Nice, okay.
But first of all, I want to thank Dr. Jones for allowing us to come on to his show. I just met him Sunday at the event.
Oh, he scouted you
at
already?
Valley Mansion.
Oh, that was fast.
And
okay.
I just got married 3 months ago, so my wife been knowing him for years, and she came over and introduced, and Stephanie Poplar. We just thank the Lord that we're able to be here, and this is my partner / son, even though he's older than me. She said, I look young and not you, so that's it.
I
Amen.
love
This
it.
is Sean Richard. Amen. We have an electrical contracting business together that we've had established for 12 years now.
Okay.
And we've hired many young black youth. He's a master electrician. He'll never tell you. He worked with the FBI as an electrician, the Department of Energy in Germantown as an electrician, the Washington subway station, BGE Home. I know I'm leaving things out. He's worked all over, and he's a graduate of Carver High School, so since he was a teenager. He's been in electrical contracting. We do industrial, commercial, residential. And if you don't need the work done, we will tell you that we won't take your money.
Okay, sound. What do
Yeah,
you call it? Back to
spiritual.
spiritual,
Yeah,
like we have
spiritual.
the foundation.
Yeah, spiritual foundation, yes.
You can't lie and get ahead.
That's right.
God will eventually get his back.
Exactly.
That's
Dr.
right.
Jones like to call that type of like voodoo business.
So we
or
want to
something. Yeah.
emphasize his business, and he's a minister, he's a pastor, he has businesses in operation,
Yes, sir.
a tremendous business. We want this to be available. We want this to be available to all of our listeners, and we're going to reemphasize how to reach them. We're going to continue
we
to
don't
talk
want
about
anybody-
this
don't
in the next
go
half.
anywhere. But wait a minute, real quick, Logan. I think we got 1 minute.
Yes.
I want, before people go on, because you may have somebody listening, they may get out their car. So we want you to quickly introduce themselves before we go to a quick break. So we
gonna have
got
a quick
Brother
break.
Richard here, Brother Richard here. And so
Yes.
tell us the name of the business. Introduce yourself again, full
The
first
name of the
name.
business.
Look closer to the mic.
Yep.
The name of the business is Optimum Vast Electric LLC.
Optimum
Vast
Vast
Electric
Electric
LLC.
LLC.
Yes.
Okay.
The
And
phone
what's
number-
your last name though? What's
It's
your
Richard,
Richard? No, that's
and my
that's.
first name is Sean.
Oh.
Sean,
I'm calling your last name, Sean Richard, right? You
Yeah.
probably got somebody listening might have went to high school with you. They like, oh,
Yeah.
I remember him, right?
Yeah.
So Sean Richard, and you have this business, and so how do people find this business? How do
The
they?
business is, the phone number, first of all, is 443-985-7560, and that's the very best way to call.
Give us a number again. Yeah.
443-985-7560,
Okay.
and it's easy to get in touch with.
we'll continue to talk about this after the break. We're going to take this little break right
Yep.
now. It's time to make a change. We the people, and we can do it. That's what the song going to tell us.
Yay.
Here we go. Well, it's time to make that change. People of the world today are fading. All of us have our ups and downs. You better think about it or you won't be around. What we need is a little bit of love. Sent by one from heaven up above. Take it from T, it's simple and plain. This ain't no game, you know what I'm saying? What? It's time. Yep, yeah. Here we go.
We are the people who can do it.
Oh, yeah.
It's time. Gotta make the change. We are your people. We can do
Yo,
it.
Mob, kick it for me one time.
What is the world coming to? Seems like everyone is running from the truth.
Yep, yep.
We got stand up and fight, walk into the night. We're the people, we can do it if we try. I know we can do it. Somebody ask me, why do we have to go through it? It's just the test of our faith. We're living day to day. We don't know where, we don't know when. But it's coming from again. It's time.
About that time.
Time to make some change. We are the people who can do it. Voices up to you. It's time.
It's about that time, y'all.
Time to make some change. We are your people. We can do
Yo,
it.
Mob, kick it for me one more time.
Jesus is spreading mighty fast. It's earthquakes are moving through the land. It ain't nothing but a sign. Gotta make up our mind. We're the people, we can do it if we try. I know we can do it. Somebody ask me, what do we have to go through, man? It's just a test of our faith. Just living day by day. Don't know when, don't know when. But it's coming,
You know what?
It's time.
About that time, y'all.
Time to make some change.
Yep, yep.
We are the people who can do it. It's time.
downs. You better think about it or you won't be around. What we need is a little bit of love, sent by one from heaven up above. Take a receipt, it's simple and plain. This ain't no game, you know what I'm saying. It's about that time, y'all. That's right. We are the people who can do it. Gotta make that change. About that time. Gotta make the change. Yep, yeah. We are your people. We can do it. Here we go.
Back live on the air, okay? Yes. Good morning. You are listening to 106.1 Praise FM, one of Radio One's favorite stations, and you are listening to I Know a Place and I Want to Take You There, but when I say it, I like to say we know a place and we want to take you there because it's a collective board today, right? So good morning and welcome back. And so right before we went on break, we were just being introduced to our amazing guests.
And we emphasize, we are no, as Christians, we no longer can be separated because of denominations and all that kind of stuff. And that's why we come together with all denominations, no matter where you are. Even we encourage the Muslims and everyone. We have to come together and have to work together and stand together, and we can make the community strong enough to survive whatever we have to face in the future.
Agreed.
If we are together, we can survive it. And we have two men here once again. Continue to talk. Lead them into the questions. I know you'll have a lot of questions you want to ask them.
I do. I'm so excited to ask them. That's why I don't like talking to the
matter
guests
of fact,
before.
let me say this before they go, because
Yeah,
they have already been out to Westminster to provide electrical service for me.
Oh, at the
So,
retreat center.
They have my home.
Oh, your
Electric-
house. Okay, no,
Westminster,
that's right.
not the retreat center.
You got a lot of land and a lot of properties, Dr. Jones. Hard for me to keep up. Sometimes I could be like Arkansas, Mississippi, wherever these places are. So you have lots of land and property. But welcome back, guys, and thank you so much for your time this morning. And so we have Bishop here, and then we have business partner here, right? And so before we went to break, you were introducing yourself, and so you are a master electrician?
Yes.
With some really nice hands. I mean, I must say, I've never seen an electrician with some nice hands, nice fingers, nice manicures. So I want to know, you must have a lot of workers, okay?
Trying to rub it in.
I'm just, I'm curious, you look at somebody's hands to see their line of work. They don't look like electrician hands. So tell me a little bit about how you got, so you went to trade. So that's what we were talking about. So you went to Carver.
I went to Carver. And after Carver, I went to apprenticeship school for 4 years.
Okay. So there's a next step after high school.
After high school,
Okay.
I did apprenticeship school, and I worked in the field, of course, since I was 18.
Nice.
I actually started when I was 15 over the summers. My mom made me.
Good.
So,
Shout out to mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She recognized that God-given special gift he had, so she made him do it.
So I've been working since I was 15, actually, and when I came to the church, he and I started the company in 2011.
So you joined the church after it was already.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I've been a master electrician for 20 years now, and we started the company. We have some young guys working for us, and we definitely would love more if some would call and give us a call, and we would definitely love our young black people to come and give us an opportunity for us to teach them
Y'all
the
hear
trade.
See, they are
that? The
about
harvest
mentorship.
is plentiful, but the laborers are few.
Yes.
Yes, they are about mentorship.
Yeah.
And,
That's a
and
good thing.
I have some jobs that they're gonna help me with in my business and in all of the places that we are involved. So we want to encourage the people that I have absolute confidence in them. I've been talking with them, and they have shown up at my place, and I know how serious and how spiritual they are. So these are the men that you need to be using in the area that they are focusing on. So they're going to continue to tell you about.
That's a good thing. So, and I absolutely love, I must say, Sean, that it's a big deal because this is what we talk about in the show, right? Like the second stage is the
Yeah.
industrial arts. And so you're just a proven facts
Yeah.
and testimony and a living, walking book,
Example.
example of, what happens, like if people take trades up in high school, like
Yes.
how far they can go with
Yes.
it. But there is a next level and step, right? So now
Yeah.
that lets me know, like, so it's not, it's simple, but not as simple because
No.
you did graduate from high school, you
Yes.
had the trade, but then you had to do a next level of an apprenticeship, which
Yeah.
was
It was
4
4 years, yeah.
Is that still the standard status
Yes.
quo for
Yes.
electricians?
Oh, yes, you got that.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's the only way to pretty much obtain your license
License,
the right way.
Oh, that's what I was gonna ask you, is that
Yeah.
the trajectory,
The-
the only way? Okay.
And the best way, because of the information, it's extremely technical. And of course, to obtain your master's, you gotta have 7 years in the trade underneath of another master electrician. So in order to get your master's, he's gotta tell the state, okay, he's worked for me for 7 years, and now he's ready to take this test. So the test is 4 hours long, to take the master's. And then, once you get it, you're certified by the state. The state is, of course, you become a state board electrician, and, we can work throughout the state of Maryland, which is a beautiful thing, because then we do what we call reciprocate. I don't have to actually take a test to go to Virginia. I can literally take my license from state of Maryland, go to Virginia and tell them I'm a master in Maryland, and they would give me a master's for Virginia. So we can go state to state to obtain, and we can work in different states in the United States to do electrical work. So that's a very good basis for whomever, young can come, and we can learn, and we do well. And like, Dr. Jones said, we do well as well, financially, and that's what we want to teach the younger guys, is that this trade is not just all dirt and stuff. We do good. So we want to be able to give that back. And that's one purpose why he and I are together too, because we both have a like mind in finances as well as the trade, yes sir, and spiritually, yes sir. And we do also, we talk about investing as well, constantly. And that's another thing that we're, in our community, is lacking generational wealth.
Absolutely.
And we would love to teach about investing and how to get further ahead, letting your dollar work.
So those people who are listening, you heard what he said, he would love to teach, so we're gonna have him here helping us teaching some of the classes that we're gonna be offering in this area.
Oh, yeah, you can
We're
scout
gonna
it already. You gotta
we're
be a
gonna
little
capitalize
careful
on
when you
this
come
right
on the
now. So
show
those
here.
people who are listening and have interest in this area that he is speaking of, we want you to call in, because he's going to be willing to teach you.
That part
I
right
stop
over
right
there.
there.
Yes.
But
Continue.
I think that is amazing. And so just to recap, right, because I think that's really good. So people listen to the show all the time, and then they call back and they have these questions. But so just to run it back down again, you go to high school, you get this, you get a certificate from high school, right, for the trade, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
ma'am.
then the next level is you then have to take your apprenticeship, which is for 4 years.
Yes.
Then after you take your apprenticeship, what happens after that? You get a certificate. What happens after the apprenticeship is
After
over?
you get your apprenticeship, you have to work in a trade at
But
least
you don't get a
7
piece of paper
years.
then. So you do 4
Once you get your apprenticeship, you get what we call a journeyman's license.
a what license?
Journeyman's.
Journeyman's license.
Yes.
Okay, so I get my journeyman's license. I
Yes.
done my 4 years, and now once I get that journeyman's license, I gotta find me a master electrician. Who is, of course, because see, I oversee the boards and commissions of the state for Governor Westmore. So that means you got to be on point. So that master
Yes.
electrician that you serve under has to have all of his stuff straight.
Yes, yes.
Him or her, because it could be
Him
a
or
her.
her, yes,
Okay,
yes,
yes.
yes.
And so they have to have all of their stuff straight, and then you serve under them for 7 years. But you're getting paid though, right? So it's not like free
Yes,
labor. So
yes.
you just work. That's your job.
Yes.
You work for 7 years under a master electrician, and then you get
Then you have the opportunity to take the test.
to take the test.
You don't have to now, but you do have the opportunity
And
to
what's
take
the
test.
benefits of
master-
taking the test? You
The
can
benefits of taking the test is now you'll have the ability to own your own business.
and you can work in from any state.
And you can not work for any state, you can work for the state of Maryland, but once you obtain your Maryland's license, you can start going to other states
to work.
to work.
So
If you
that's good.
can,
Okay.
you have to do, like I said, reciprocate, and the other state has to give you their license.
Okay.
And then you can do it, because he and I work for a company, excuse me, and we were working up and down the Eastern Seaboard, and we were doing lighting. We were in
Storage place.
yeah,
Vermont,
Massachusetts,
New York,
New York.
So y'all got a subcontract. Y'all got a piece of a big contract, and y'all was subcontract to
Yes.
get a lot of that bread.
And get
Okay,
it.
I like that.
So we were doing all of these jobs, and that's coming because of the opportunity to have your master's.
Okay.
And of course, these companies are asking, "Are you licensed?" They asking. So that's a good opportunity for whomever, young guys, young women, to be able to, go after. I say go after your master's, not just go to apprenticeship school. Go get your license, start your own business, because the work is out here. It's not enough of us.
It's not enough of us. And ladies, let's be clear, women, you can do it and still get your nails done, because this man's hands look good. I must repeat again, he has a very nice manicure. His fingers are not beat up. So ladies, we can do this too.
When you have
Let's
your
be clear.
own business, and
Yeah.
you're working for yourself, your income is unlimited.
Oh, yeah.
It's not set by somebody else.
Yes.
If
Yes,
you're
sir.
working for somebody, then your income is set by what they're going to pay you.
Yeah, like me, a public servant. It's set by the state, by your taxpayer dollars, okay? So this is good, right? So Bishop, so tell me, right? So I'm super intrigued, because I want to go back super quick, right? So your business is called
Explosion.
Explosion Ministries. Okay, tell me, how did you come up with that name? Because that's different. That's different.
Well, like I said, I've been pastoring 22 years. I just changed the name about 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Because the Lord I was very old-fashioned, raised in the church with my grandfather, and my father was a pastor for 30-something
So you
years.
sing hymns, okay?
No,
okay.
He's
I
third.
play
He is
him.
Water
Oh, you play
the third.
hymns. Okay,
He is
okay.
Water the third. There are two before him.
Yeah.
But
That
y'all
was-
still got hymn books in your church, right? Maybe, no? Okay, all right, good. Okay, all right, so you're not that old school then.
Nothing
Okay.
wrong with him books.
Nothing wrong with him. I sing them, we just don't have the book.
Okay.
But one day I was in prayer, and the Lord told me he had to change my mind. I'm like, change my mind from what? I thought I was successful, and I just have to reach a different group of people now, because it's something about when you get church transplant people, they already churched, and he said it. Luke 5:32, I didn't come to reach the righteous, I came to reach the unsaved.
That
And so
part right
to
there.
reach the unsaved, he had me change the name of the church from Heart of Worship to Explosion. Ever since I changed it, the church has actually changed its character, because, I mean, now you're dancing almost every
That just made
week.
the hair on my arm stand up. When you said it
That's
changed
what we
the
do.
character,
We
I'm
dance.
like, okay.
We dancing on the park now.
I mean, it's just full of life and fire now, because I'm basically a laid back person. Everybody, well, not everybody knows me, but they know I've been laid back. I'm just a laid back person, but now I'm like on fire. I just came from North Carolina, ministering there, and my wife was ministering in Charlotte, and I was ministering in Durham the same weekend.
Are you serious?
And
that is what is it?
Explosive.
Explosive. Yeah, right.
And so we had 8 of our members fly down with us and stay for the weekend to
Oh, nice.
support us. But I told Dr. Walsh we've been to London and ministered, Jamaica, Toronto,
Wow.
Sacramento, Kentucky, Texas. I mean, we've just been all over. The Lord has opened up doors. And yeah, yes, right. June, I was in Colombia, South America for 8 days.
Okay, Dr. Jones, I'm about to be rolling with explosive over here. I
And
don't know,
so
Mama Ryan, Concord, holla at your boy.
That was 4 months ago.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I had spoke at a prophetic conference there for about 4 days.
And would you say all of these things, I'm sorry to cut you off, but would you say all of these things have been like a domino effect since you changed the name, or you were already in the mix, but you can just tell the difference in the church?
It was, I would have to say, a domino effect from the name change.
Also, you start this statement by saying you prayed.
Oh, yes, sir.
You prayed, and that's my message for them. Did you stop and pray today? That's
Yes,
my
sir.
message for this Sunday, tomorrow.
Yes, sir, because people have ideas, and there's nothing wrong with your ideas, but do your ideas take you out of your purpose? And so to stay
Say
in
that
your,
again, wait a minute,
people have ideas, but you have to question, is my idea taking me out of my purpose? And so you have to pray to find out, is your idea subject to your purpose? Because if you're successful, but successful in the wrong purpose, you fail.
And when you pray, you're in communication with the Spirit and with God.
And he'll line you
He
up.
directs you.
He'll line
He
you
orders
up,
your
so
steps. Yeah.
all of these things, we just started feeding the children last week on Saturday mornings in the community, and also the parents, but it was for the youth because I know a lot of kids don't eat on Saturdays or don't do anything, so we just started that every other Saturday right now, and we're trying to partner with some supermarkets, Pepsi. We sent out letters to everyone. We feed the homeless. We have a prison ministry. We have a nursing home ministry. And we're just starting to teach about opening businesses because many churches sit there, and I believe if the Lord has planted you in the church, everything that church needs is in the church as far as business. But when they get the confidence in their spiritual life, then the business has to come out because the business is there because of fear and they're afraid to step out. But when they find out they're having spiritual growth, you can't have spiritual growth and then just sit on purpose. It's utterly impossible.
Let me say that last thing. You can't have
Spiritual growth and then sit on purpose. And so there are a lot of CEOs sitting in churches that don't know what a CEO stands for, Chief Executive Officer.
Yeah.
They don't know what a CFO is, you know, that you handle the finances.
Chief
And
Financial Officer.
a lot of us don't understand or don't know because we're not. The Bible said not become so spiritually minded, yet no earthly good. We don't have a balance. And because
like
we don't
that.
have a balance, we want to speak in tongues and fall out and all of that. But then when you leave the church, then what?
Then what?
Are you still on welfare? Are you still barely making it? Important thing the doctor brought up about is tithing. When you tithe, God has to respond. It's just no option because he already said, and we don't take this to heart, is that nations are going to know you.
When you tithe, God has to respond.
He has no option.
Yeah.
He has
the word
no
says.
option.
And it comes back, and
And
I
they're
love that you said
multiplied
that.
by
'Cause
hundredfold.
I mean, it's finances, it's our health, it's keeping our families. Like, I mean, he has to respond because he's
Yes.
a keeper. So it doesn't. People look at tithing like, oh, because I give God this, he's gonna give me this back. They have this expectation of
God doesn't
it
need
being
their money.
monetary.
Yeah, it's not even about because what you're giving, it serves him no good. Tithing is for the house.
Yeah.
And so when the house is blessed, then you can execute the programs, the after school programs. We had a computer literacy at our church, and we were teaching people almost 70 years and older about computer because they said they needed a job. One was a first lady, her husband had died, and the church had moved on and she couldn't make it. She took our class and she came back 2 months later and said she got a job working with computers at 72 years old.
I
And
love
so
that.
you have to reach, again, not just the youth, but we have to start there. But we have somebody now, she's going to partner with us. We're just going to the bank Monday to open the account up. We got all the paperwork done. We're getting ready to get into real estate.
Okay.
And we already have some houses already ready to purchase.
Mm-hmm.
And she just turned 73 Tuesday.
Amazing.
And I'm trying to let them know, keep the Caleb mentality. He was 85, and he said,
Keep
he
the
went to
Caleb
Joshua.
mentality.
He went to Joshua and said, Moses
me my
promised
mountain."
me land,
Yes.
and Moses died. What are you going to do about it? Joshua told him, if you help us win this next battle, it's yours. And so I want to encourage people, it doesn't matter your age, fight the battle. And win the battle. And whatever God promised you, I'll go drill this in people's head. He has to keep his word. He's not a man that he shall lie. I'm on dialysis. I started this three years ago. Our wives died a week apart. His wife died, they lived in the back of my house. She died in his arms. My wife died a week later from COVID.
Wow.
I almost died. I was across the hall. They started me on COVID the day before my wife died. And I've been on dialysis for almost 3 years now. I've died on the operating table 3 times.
Wow.
But because of purpose, I can't leave.
Look at God.
And I told God, I said, Lord, and he's a witness, I've given away 16 cars, Jaguars, Escalades, Mercedes-Benz. I've given away cars to people who needed work and couldn't get to work. I paid for houses. I paid for church vans. And I said, okay, Lord, if I pay for all of that, it's time for me I can't reap and die at the same time. And so I had to stay here so I can reap. I don't want to harvest. I said, Lord, I'm owed a storehouse.
A storehouse.
The storehouse is what you put your harvest in. The harvest is just what you get. And so I'm like, well, Lord, then if I have a storehouse, I have enough to help others, and we have enough to help others to be branches on our tree. You have a business in this, you do good in this, but as a pastor, I can see where people are strong in it. They don't even see it yet, but you have to encourage them, train them, get them we grades teach investment classes at the church. I said, I'm giving up my Bible class night so we can teach all about investments, financial literacy. You don't want, and I hate to say this, but I don't really hate to say it, but I don't want to be out of line, but we will trust a white face before we trust us.
That is
And
facts.
so we as business owners have to be honest.
Spiritually grounded.
We have to be honest. Like I said, we've had people who might say, I need a new service and blah, blah, blah. We go there, we tell them, look, instead of spending $2,500, just let us change the wire, because that's all you need. It's only $500. And you're like, why would you cheat your company out of $2,000? It's not cheating, it's being honest with the customer.
Yeah.
And what happens? They call 5 and 6 other people and say, I know an electrician. And then the $2,000 we saved on them, we make $10,000 from other sales.
Exactly.
And so you can't be a liar and get ahead. It's just not possible. You have some who think it is, but it always catches up with you.
But the rain falls on the just and the unjust. So there you have it.
Yeah.
That's
So I'm happy and excited about the event I went to, and I said, Lord, thank you, because people knew I almost gave away my life. I gave away everything. Like I said, 16 luxury cars.
What is that?
And he kept saying, Dad, why don't you stop? And then he gave away a Mercedes 550.
Well, what?
He says, I want to do it because I
I'm
saw
rolling
you
with
do
the
it. He
wrong
said, every time you
group.
do it, you get blessed. I said, well, it's because I don't just give it away. I give it to somebody, even his someone he's seeing now. She lost her job. I gave her a Jaguar. And I told her, you're going to have a job in 48 hours. That's how God uses me prophetically. She came back from Sunday and Tuesday night at Bible class. She said, I just got a job in Annapolis. Now I can get there.
Okay.
So it's not just about giving away things. It's about leading people into purpose. Now it's her job to pass that on to somebody else. And so I told him, never let a blessing die in your hands. Pass it along. His knowledge.
Blessed to be blessed.
His knowledge. He's giving his knowledge to 19 and 20 years old right now.
Yeah.
They picked it up. They know master work from him in less than 2 years.
Yep.
Look at God.
Because he's not afraid to give his knowledge. We hired a whole bunch of young black men, and a lot of them got the money and ran off, and we trying to let them know, you can always fall back on it. Because he was a CO officer for 4 years, but he went back to electrical work because it's very lucrative. We did work. When they were sent us to Kentucky, they said, could you drive 17 hours? Minnesota.
Yeah.
They said, your work is so good and
Yeah.
our customers are so pleased
that's
with you all. We want to, and this company was worth over $75 million that we were working with. And they were in Texas, Houston. And they kept calling to Maryland saying, could you go to Virginia? Could you go to Vermont? Could you go to Massachusetts? We had to stay there for a week, but the work would get done. We did 32 dominoes from Delaware to Virginia, and Advanced Auto Parts and they were just
Thank
sending
you
us
for
out.
joining us today. Find us on social media.
And the Lord has opened the doors, but what we do is make sure whatever we get, 10% comes right back. And not just what we tithe from the business, because the business has to be blessed, not just the person.
Yeah, that's why I struggle with the business ties versus my person. I'm like, God, you want both of them. What you want me to do here? I got private school tuition.
But look at your return you're going to get just for being faithful.
Yeah, no.
Fear
facts.
and faith cannot
mix.
go together.
I know, Dr. Jones. Thank
Fear
you.
and
Appreciate
faith.
you. Yeah, I
If you
hear
got
that.
fear, you destroy your faith.
It will restore your faith. And
If
so-
you have faith, you destroy the fear.
Okay, if you have faith, it destroys the fear, right? So is that what we're saying here? Okay. So I've been listening to both you guys.
These are examples of what we have been talking about here on this talk show
Yep.
for
We
3
gotta-
years. They are examples of what we want to encourage all of the churches to
All
be
churches to
involved
do.
in.
But I got a little question real quick before we go. We got like maybe 1 or 2 more minutes. So just somebody's listening, right? People are listening, and people are always scared to do partnerships, I need both of you guys to just drop at least one jewel on the plus and the benefit of having a partner, because people don't want partners. They feel like they have to do everything on their own. So what is key to this partnership that both of you guys have?
If I could start, the blessing is, I know the trade, he has the wisdom. So with that too, the wisdom isn't because I know the trade, the wisdom is, he's the pastor. He knows my Father greater than me. So his wisdom, my skill in the trade, it works.
Amazing.
So without that, I don't think it would work at all. So with his wisdom, we can get contracts, and I go to him and I say, what you think? You know, how should we do this? What do you see? What? And he's like, let's do this, let's do that, or he'll say, let me pray.
Let me pray. I love
Gaining
that.
of knowledge is to know God.
That's it. And what do you have for us, Bishop?
Well, when our work is low, he said, Dad, we don't have any work. I said, all right, I'm going to go pray. When I pray, within 3 hours, his phone starts ringing.
Oh, my God.
And so my thing is very simple. If God don't trust you, I can't. God trusts him.
God don't trust you, I can't.
So how can I trust what my Father doesn't trust? So when I go out to work, my hands are better than his because I don't work.
Right, okay.
When I
Love it.
when I go out to work, I put it this way, he's the boss. I know how to do some things, he taught
Yeah.
me. But when I go out in the field with him, he's the boss. When he's out of the field, I'm the boss. We learn how to submit to each other.
Learn how to, that's
And
what I
so
really want
you
to
can
hear.
have, one person can have money, one person can have the skill and knowledge, and one person can have the wisdom. You need to bring it all together and submit it to God, because really he's in charge. These are his gifts.
I love that, Bishop. So tell us again, tell us your church, Bishop. What is this called?
Explosion Ministries International at 2218-2220 Harford Road.
Harford
Phone
Road.
number is 443, I know it now, 857-0080. I've never had to call
And
it.
Sean, the business. Plug in the business one more time.
Business is Optimum Vast Electric LLC. The phone number is 443-985-7560. And you can get in contact with us 24 hours a day, 7 days a
I
week.
love it. You have just
I
been
am-
listening to I Know a Place I Want to Take You There on 106.1 Praise FM. And call Concord. Call us this week at 410-367-1117 to hear about our Cinderella play we have coming up on December the 3rd. We're taking the youth and the ministries at center stage. It's going to be
We are known for giving you the-
lituation. Okay, you taking us off, Malik? You've been listening to us. Thank you.
Been listening to I Know a Place and I'll Take You There. I'm Dr. Matthew L. Jones, the pastor of the Concord Baptist Church.
Perfect.